I think there's definitely a general fear when it comes to tackling your finances. And you mentioned that you have a pretty wide spectrum of clientele. I'm wondering if you could tell us maybe a couple of success stories that you're particularly proud of when it comes to the work that you've done with your clients.
Yeah, absolutely. I think that a lot of an area that we've been doing a lot of education in and doing a lot of events for is this pre-retiree women's market. And I think that's been so impactful and just super motivating and really kind of ties a lot back to my own personal experience, because a lot of these women, especially the ones that are either divorced or widowed, or even just single, my dad was a single dad, which at the time, only 2% of parents that got divorced in that time had sole custody of their children, were dads. Like, that's it. 2% were dads. So I know that the story of my dad is typically that of a single mother. And I think that's what really pushed me into wanting to really help a lot of these people. And I mean, we had one woman who came in, she came up to me at the end of one of the educational events we had, tears in her eyes. She said, "I can't afford your services, but I don't know what to do. And I know I need help." We said, "Just come in for the consultation. We'll see what we can do." And we ended up sitting down with her. We ended up going through a whole financial plan for her. And we ended up showing her that had she kept going on the rate that she was going at, she would have not done well under any circumstance, even if the market every single year went up and only ever had positive returns that were consistent, which we know is not realistic. We showed her that even if it did that, she was not going to be able to meet her obligations financially and take care of herself. And that was a very sobering kind of conversation. It's something that, she said, she's like, "I haven't slept, I haven't done this," because she knew that it was going on, but she was, again, the ostrich, didn't want to pull her head out of the sand and really look at what was going on. So we were able to work through all of the different things that she had within her estate. She was actually fortunate that even though she kind of didn't have the best way of acquiring it, she ended up getting another piece of property. And even though it wasn't being managed well at the time, we were able to connect her with a phenomenal real estate agent who was able to help her to rent that property out. We're able to also put some things in place with some buffer strategies so that if the market were to lose, she was going to be protected, because she really could not afford to lose even $1. We were able to reassess her contributions to her employer company matching plan to be able to fully take advantage of that. And we were able to show her that actually, if she were to do these just few couple things, that she was going to be able to be okay. And I think that was just probably one of the absolute best experiences in the past few months that I've had, is just knowing that this person was going to be all right because of the work that we did. In addition to that, we also do a lot of work with, thank you. We also do a lot of work with first responders and veterans. And veterans are great, especially if they're still in the reserves, because there's actually some additional benefits they can take advantage of they don't always know about. So we just had a gentleman, he came in, he's a police officer, he's also still in the reserves, and he did not know that he was able to contribute to both his civilian thrift savings plan and his uniform services thrift savings plan. So he did not know that he's able to, and again, that's not dollars going into an investment account we're managing, that's just good savings advice for him, that he's able to take advantage of these two different plans he was being offered without realizing it. So I think that was, even just on a small scale, that's very important. Knowing understanding what your benefits are, which is something we review with all of our clients. What are your employer benefits? What do they mean? What do they cover? What do they not cover? Because that's super important. And business owners. I think business owners are also, they're near and dear to my heart, being a small business owner. We are one of the firms that specializes in profitability for business owners. So how can you make sure that your business is as profitable as possible? And really take you from you to get steps of going from a job owner where you show up every single day and you're the sole person that has to be the one to get certain bits of work done, to a actual CEO that owns a small business, and our litmus test for that is, can we get you to the point where you can take an entire month off work, not answer one phone call, not answer one email, and can you come home to a more profitable company than you left it? So getting clientele up to that point, which we're actually doing a huge masterclass on this spring. that we're excited to be sharing some of those tools as well. And of course, high net worth families and high income earning individuals are also a big area that we help a lot, especially for those that are newly either have a high income that's new to them. So again, those people that have had that surprise inheritance, or people that just in general, they were making, $100,000 a year, and then all of a sudden they're making $400,000 or $500,000 a year. We had one C-suite executive from a biotech firm, and she was a bioscientist, and she was actually from another country. She had moved here about 5 years ago, and she all of a sudden was making more money than she knew what to do with. She was absolutely incredibly brilliant, and however, she really struggled with her financial literacy. And again, this is a completely new country for her. It's new markets, new products, new language, new restrictions, new legislation, lots of different things going on for her around this entire new country that she's living in. So we set up a financial plan for her. She was paying over $60,000 a year in rent very consistently. So we said, hey, let's get you to buy something, invest in that, so that at least then you have a cash flow, an asset that you can just cash flow, as well as you're investing into a hard asset rather than flushing 60 grand down the drain, and get you invested and she had a lot of single stock risk because she had never taken any of her RSUs and re-diversified those. So we were able to help her with a fantastic plan. It took us about 2 years to implement the plan for her. And that's because a lot of it had to do with taking our time, building trust, and working on the financial education. I say this lovingly, and we laugh about it now, but it took us 3 different meetings to wrap our head around and understand what a mutual fund was, and going through every analogy that I could think of, from, okay, you're at the grocery store and you have a basket, but it has to have so much percentage of meat, so much percentage of vegetables and whatnot, and you can take out beans, but then you have to put in, another vegetable. So, just doing what we can to really get people there. But she's actually purchased property. She's purchased investment property. She wants to purchase another property. And she is just completely 100% a different person than who she was when we met. And I couldn't be more proud of the success that she's had, and how much she's just blossomed, and just even the change in her net worth in just 2 years is absolutely staggering. We were able to show her, and she kept going the trajectory you're on. This is where you would have been otherwise. And it's a lot to make these changes. Change isn't always easy, and especially if it's financial, because again, it's not just numbers, it's emotional. So being able to build the relationships that we do and help people to get to the next level, to enjoy a vacation with their family, to not have to worry about their parents or their children, people that have had children with special needs and they didn't have the right trust set up, and we're able to help them with that too. So I think there's a lot of really good, every case we work on is great, but those are some of, I think, my favorites.